Hey everyone, Steph Wilson here. I want to take this time to talk about what motivates you. I'd like to know. I find it interesting because I've always had a very positive mindset and I have always tried to focus on that, especially when times get tough. But pursuing your dreams is going to have its ebbs and its flows, its ups and its downs. And it's easy to go back to a time in your life and wish you were back there or even romanticize about it. And for me, that time is when I built my home in Orlando, Florida. About 5 years ago, I was working for a home builder, and while we built homes in certain communities, I had this dream of creating my own home and finding a piece of land and building it. And I found a good friend of mine who's a general contractor who was interested in taking on the project, and I had to go out and find land and negotiate it and have it fall through and find another piece of land. And then finally, when I secured that, I remember it literally took me 9 months to argue the city of Orlando to fit a home on the land because the shape of it wasn't just a square, it was a triangle, so it was really unique. And just the days of thinking, this isn't going to happen, and this isn't worth it, and the headaches, crying it out, but then waking up the next day and moving forward some more. And just even because of all of that time that had gone by, like there was a point where I even had to find more money to build this house. It wasn't easy, but I'll never forget, ever, the feeling that I felt the first night that I got to sleep in it. And it was the coolest house, and it had 2 walk-in closets in the master bedroom, and since I'm single, I made one of them a shoe closet. And the shower was so big, and I had a second handle that was low in this like 10-foot by 5-foot shower, it felt like, just so that if I didn't want to wash my hair, like I could have a lower form of water. I had this air-conditioned closet in my garage because I was a big cyclist and I didn't want my bikes sitting in the Florida heat. And in the living room, I had this big glass window that was seamless, and you could look out on the entire backyard that had these brick pavers and lawn furniture, and I would have these parties and hire a caterer and light all these tiki torches and invite all my friends over and play music and dance, and it was home. I created a home for myself, and I loved that house so much, and I really struggled with it after it got burglarized. It went from being this place that I kind of had like a sense of security with to a place where I questioned that, and all of that was during the catalyst of me realizing that I liked my life, and I didn't love my life, and I wanted a life that I loved. And what was coming in for me in my heart of the steps that I needed to take to create the life that I loved was going to require me to sell my house. And at the time, I wanted a life I loved so bad, and I could just taste it, and I just was ready to go after it, that it became easy. And having just gotten burglarized and feeling a little less secure about where I lived made it easier as well at that time. But, you know, here I sit in an apartment in New York City, and I'm grateful. I mean, I'm in the Upper West Side. I have the nicest roommate, but you might be able to hear it. They're building a big, tall condominium building next door, and so all day long I hear the construction, which is how I got such a good deal on the apartment. So if you hear noises, that's what it is. My bathroom is the size of my pinky. I have to walk up 3 flights of stairs with groceries every Saturday, and there are days where I think that's beautiful, and I think that's like part of this whole journey. But there are days where I struggle, where I haven't seen any goals accomplished in a week or 2 or 3, and I start to question, Am I crazy? Am I crazy for wanting to become an actress, a successful actress? Am I crazy for having moved to New York City? I had this life that I liked. Liked is still a good word. Shouldn't I have just stayed there in the house I love, doing what I knew how to do in home building? But no, I gave that up. And it's hard on those days to not lay in your bed and cry and think about how you long for those things. And it's not materialistic. It was because that was something I accomplished. It was something where I started off, it got a little crazy, I hung in there, and then I succeeded. It was such an accomplishment to me, in my heart of hearts. I did it, and with the help of my general contractor, I did it on my own. And now I'm in this again. And I got the dream, just like I had to build my house. And it's in the middle where it's messy. And you have to hang on and hang in there and wake up the next day and forge forward and keep going with every conviction that you could muster in your heart. And you crave that sense of accomplishment. And it's so, for me, I go straight back to that feeling that first night I slept in that house. And it was funny because I bought this chandelier. My company had this great employee discount program for this lighting company, and I bought this amazing chandelier. It was so cool, and I hung it over my bed. And I remember just staring up at it the first night that I slept there going, this is my home. Like, I did this, these walls, like, I created this, I designed this. This is something I did. And after I sold everything I owned to move to New York City, and I mean everything between Craigslist and garage sales, and there's something humbling about putting everything you own out on a driveway and having people haggle you over it when you know what you paid for it and it's only a few years old. But that chandelier is the only thing that I kept, and it's at my mom's house. And I have vowed that one day it's going to hang above my bed again. And it's amazing, like, how you hang on to those things. Like, when things get tough, like, how you literally, like, can cradle it like this blanket. And it's so easy to want to go back. It is so easy. But you can't. You can't. It's too late. You've set sail on this course and you've lost sight of the shore behind you, and that house is gone. Somebody else owns it now. And I just have to keep looking forward and knowing that there's going to be another day where I'm lying in a bed staring up at my chandelier going, I can't believe I just landed this movie or this TV show or accomplished something huge, and look at me now. But when you're in the middle of it and you crave that, it's so hard to see, and it's so easy to just want to run backwards. And then you go to your niece's graduation. And this was just a month ago. And it was in Pittsburgh. And she was graduating high school, and she's not my oldest. I have a nephew who's older than her, so it totally ages me. But to have her younger brother, who's in high school, tell me that he wants to be an actor, and that's what he wants to do for a living, and to see the joy in his face, you almost envy him for realizing that in high school, where it took me to be 30 years old before I realized that for myself. But it creates this level of motivation on those days, because now I don't just want to accomplish this for me. I have to do it for him too. I want to be able to pave the way, to be able to give him contacts, connection, wisdom, knowledge, advice, a bedroom if needed. And those days where I find myself laying in bed clinging to an imaginary chandelier in my arms that really exists at my mom's house, and, you know, thinking about my dogs that my mom's watching right now with my stepdad, because I just can't give them the life right now that I want to. and missing everything that I've accomplished, that I said goodbye to. It's those little moments in life where you just get wind in your sails. And it was just him telling me he wanted to be an actor, and me wanting to be the aunt that helps him do it. So I'm just wondering out there, for all of you who are on this journey to pursue your dreams, and to all of you who've lost sight of the shore, what is it in the darkest hour where you're just ready to chuck it in the F it bucket? What is it that keeps you going? Because for me, it was just hearing that from Anthony. So I'd love to hear what it is and have a dialogue with you moments. So this episode I want to dedicate to Anthony Manning, my nephew, who called me last night and said that I should talk about this on my episode. So this is for you, Anthony, and thank you for motivating me when times are tough. For the rest of you, keep going. We're in it together. I'm in it with you, and I'm sending you love. Have a great week, guys.